Hello, welcome to this beautiful park where we are enjoying the earth, the wind, the sun, the Mother Earth here holding us. And we are part of the Monarch Festival. Our name is Kalpulli, Ketzal, Coatlicue. My name is Susana de Leon. So welcome to this beautiful space. I am accompanied by Miss Josefina Catalan, who is a firekeeper with our group. And we will be showing you today a few aspects of our dance and our regalia. Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos a todos en este día tan precioso que estamos disfrutando en este parque, dándole gracias a la tierra, al cielo, al sol, por permitirnos un día más de vida, a la creación entera y a la naturaleza. Estamos aquí, parte del Kalpulli Ketzal Coatlicue, que participamos en el Festival de la Monarca cada año. Me llamo Susana de León y estoy aquí acompañada con la señora Josefina Catalán, la cual es una persona que cuida del fuego en nuestro grupo. I am going to start by showing you just a little bit of, what we do to prepare to come to the festival. Vamos a comenzar enseñando lo que hacemos para prepararnos para venir al festival. Usted puede ver que la señora Josefina está vestida con un vestidito nada más. Para ella poder llegar al festival va a ser una transformación completa a hacerse una danzante. As you can see, Miss Josefina is dressed with a dress, just a dress, but she will be transforming herself into a dancer as we go through this process. La señora Josefina tiene para ponerse en sus pies algo que nosotros llamamos ayoyotes. Ustedes los pueden ver en mis pies, yo ya los tengo puestos y esa es la manera en que nosotros los danzantes utilizamos para estar cerca de la tierra, pero también para seguir nuestros pasos con un ritmo. Cada vez que damos un paso, el ayoyote hace un sonido que nos ayuda a seguir el ritmo. We wear these leggings called ayoyotes, which are seeds put into a strap of leather, held with a little piece of twine and then put together by hand. And the ayoyotes help us keep the rhythm as we're dancing, but it also helps us get grounded to the dance. And so at every step that you see us take, we are marking the rhythm of the dance with the sound of the ayoyotes. Next thing that we have is our regalia. This is a regalia made out of leather and fabric. And this regalia has symbols that show the Aztec calendar, the outer ring, which symbolizes the sun. The middle triangle shows one of the rays of sun. This is one of my regalia. My name in Nahuatl is Tlayowa Ejecat. Tlayowa means the one who brings the light into the darkness, and Ejecat means the wind. So all of my regalia have symbols related to the wind, the light, or darkness. So this is the top piece, which gets just slip on like this, and it's held with two pieces so that when we dance, it stays in place. The same with the one that I'm wearing right now. This symbol right here is a symbol for a star, and the star has all the light with it. Again, related to the name which I bear in Nahuatl. Este vestuario es un vestuario solar que tiene estos símbolos del calendario que nosotros llamamos azteca, pero es la piedra del sol, y tiene aquí un rayo de sol. Este vestuario, igual que este, simbolizan la luz y simbolizan mi nombre, que es Tlayowa Ejecat, que es la que trae la luz hacia la oscuridad. Esta es la parte de arriba y tenemos también la parte de abajo, en la cual está una carita de alguien, pero esa carita está saliendo de las fauces de la tierra. Esto simboliza nuestro salir de la tierra y es la fuerza que me acompaña cuando danzo. This lower part has a face, which seems like she has some ribbons or something on the top of her head. But what it is in reality is she's coming out of the mouth of the earth crocodile. And the earth crocodile has the fangs and then she's coming out from the earth. This symbolizes our rebirth, or our coming through from the earth and our connection. And it is another piece which helps me keep grounded. These pieces are also part of this regalia. These go around the knees like this, and then these go around the hands like this. And as you can see, these ones have the same symbol for the light, and these ones do too. They have their light on them. So anything that you see us wear is not out of chance. Everything is being planned. Then this piece is a shield, which has a serpent, and this shield is worn by the dancers on their hands. I don't usually wear a lot of shields because I'm drumming or talking, but I have shields, many of them. Esto es la parte que complementa junto con las muñequeras y las rodilleras, y acá tenemos el símbolo de una serpiente. La serpiente es importante porque la serpiente representa la tierra. The serpent is very important because she represents the waters of the earth. And if you remember in this other one, we have everything that's the base of the regalia is a serpent. So we have the waters of the earth. The diamonds on the backs of the serpents represent the water. Entonces los diamantes en las espaldas en la piel de las serpientes son el agua. Vamos a continuar. En la cabeza siempre tenemos el copili, ¿verdad? Que este es un copili que no tiene plumas. De este tamaño vamos a crecer a este tamaño. So we have on our heads the headdress, which we call copili, C-O-P-I-L-L-I. And this copili is going to grow from this tiny little thing to this big thing, because the feathers is what makes a copili or a headdress big. Vamos a ponerle las plumas y se va a hacer grandote, como el que tengo ahora. Este es un estilo, este es otro estilo, y la señora Josefina está trabajando en otro estilo. So we have one style here, this is another style, same elements, and with this one, I will show you something that's interesting. This one is painted, and it is painted to symbolize the Mother Earth in the depictions that you might find in books at the library. And so I encourage you to go and look for these symbols, because many times people get scared thinking, oh, it's a monster. And that is not true. We represent nature in everything that we do. The reality is that our ancestors believed that this symbolized the Mother Earth, in nature in all its glory. So we have, it looks like a two-headed serpent, but what it is that it is a serpent looking at each other. So it is a complete reflection. Then down below, it's got a mouth, which I told you at the beginning symbolizes us coming out of the earth. And she's got a lot of other symbols that are beautiful and important, but I want to go back to the recurrent symbol of this star. Every time you see an eye, you're looking at a star. The star with the serpents, because she, Coatlicue, is the one who wears the skirt of serpents. Basically, she wears the waters on her skirt. Este símbolo representa la Madre Tierra, la naturaleza, ella que tiene las serpientes en su falda y tiene aquí en el centro una estrella de luz, recordando que mis vestuarios todos tienen un símbolo de luz por mi nombre. Pero este es otro estilo, que es un estilo pintado, como pueden ver. Está todo pintado y es simplemente tela pintada. And as you can see, this is another way of doing regalia, which is painting on fabric. And I gotta tell you that I did not paint it, although we usually do everything ourselves, but I had some help because I'm not a very good painter. And it's okay. You can be an artist and can be good at many things, but maybe you're not very good at something. And so then you get help from other artists. And I think collaboration is excellent. So it's the same thing with the hands. The hands are, these go on the hands, and these go on the legs. And we always try to harmonize all of our regalia. So for this one, I have different leggings, which are with the colors. And the leggings also have metal bells. In our history, we know that sometimes people wore bells made out of gold and silver. But we don't have the money to buy gold and silver. So we use metal. And this is another way of expressing our culture in an appropriate way. Again, I'll go back to the headdresses. You can see the difference. I like them. I call these ears. I like my headdresses with ears. But there is also this tail. So this headdress has a tail. And we put the feathers one by one. And as I showed you, this all will be full of feathers. The feathers are right here. But, you know, this is what we will end up with. I'm not going to do it. Miss Josefina is doing it to her headdress, if you can see her. She will put each feather in by hand. And as you can see now, she has put on her regalia. Como podemos ver, estos copilis son de un diferente estilo. A mí me gustan los copilis que tienen, yo les digo orejitas, ¿verdad? Estas son mis orejitas. Y en este copili que tengo, también tengo una elevación en el centro. Pero este otro tiene colita. Ahí está su colita. Así que cuando uno danza, pues la colita se mueve bastante. Aquí en estas partes que están en el centro, voy a ir poniendo plumas. Tengo las plumas en esta mano. Y las plumas, como vamos a ver, porque la señora Josefina, que está aquí detrás de mí, está poniendo sus plumas una por una. Esta pluma se acaba de caer, pero yo todo lo que tengo que hacer es incrustarla aquí y ya está. So just so that you can see, you know, it's very simple. I just take a feather and I'll put it in there. So if I were to take all these feathers out, all I would be left with would be this little part, like this little part. And then to just put your feathers, I'll do maybe one or two so you can see what happens to the center. You take your feather. Always be careful because the feathers are delicate and the bottom, if you do it really hard, they will break. Siempre tienes que tener cuidado con tus plumas porque si las empujas muy fuerte, se rompen. Entonces, aquí viene un principio de no violencia. No violencia con nada de lo que usamos. So this is a principle of non-violence because nothing that you do in dance should have violence. Not the way you drum, not the way you dress, not the way you carry your medicine. It's supposed to be medicine, not violence. So you got to, we call them prayers because you're meditating, you're quiet into your own work when you're doing your feathers. So you put the feather in, and then when you put the next one, you're careful with this feather, and then so on and so forth. So you gotta be careful. And if you can see how when I am done putting these yellow feathers, it will match with the shield that will be worn on this day. So everything will match. This dress is based on yellow with green, blue, and so everything else will have those colors going. We try to be harmonious in everything. And at the same time, you can see with dress over here that we have the red and the blue, which are always two colors that match or complement each other. Miss Josefina is wearing today blue and yellow and red. So all those colors also go well together. Como pueden ver, los colores los vamos combinando y acomodando para que todo sea armonioso. En este tenemos azul, verde, amarillo. Igualmente el chimali va a llevar amarillo. Acá en este otro tenemos rojo y azul, y de igual manera el copili, si lo llenara de plumas, yo usaría estas plumas rojas para ponérselo al copili. Las plumas las usamos en diferentes vestuarios, cada quien tiene sus plumas, cada quien guarda sus cosas y las cuida, y podemos intercambiarlas con los diferentes vestuarios que tenemos. And as you can see, we are able to interchange feathers with different regalia, and we all take care of our own feathers. We actually save them in tubes and boxes, and we take them out, and like birds, we prune or print, with our, we don't have beaks, so we do it with our fingers. But we are very careful with our feathers because having a feather, it's hard to come by. A feather is hard to come by. So whenever you see us dancing and a feather gets away from us, please give it back to us because it matters very much to us. Para tener plumas es muy poco difícil porque pues es difícil, ¿no? Tenemos que esperar a los pájaros para que nos las den y las cuidamos mucho. Entonces, si algún día ustedes ven que se nos cae alguna pluma, por favor, levántela y regrésenosla, porque esas plumas para nosotros son sagradas, las amamos mucho. Vamos ahora a ver cómo va la señora Josefina con su trabajo, casi ya está terminando, para que ella se levante y nos enseñe su completa transformación y también nos enseñe un poquito de su trabajo con el Poposh Comet, con el saumador, y nos explique lo que es. So Miss Josefina is almost done transforming herself into a firekeeper. And when she's done, we're going to look at her all fully dressed in her regalia. And then we're going to ask Miss Josefina to help us understand a little bit what is it that she does when we dance, and how is it that she works with her fire. We call it the saumador during our dance. We don't call them performances, but we call them ceremonies. So during our dance ceremonies, every time that we dance, we are in a ceremony because we are dancing always for the same reason, for nature. And you might be in the audience, but we're not dancing for you. We're dancing for everything that's alive, for everything that allows us to be alive. It's always. So don't feel offended if we say, we're not dancing for you. But the truth is we're dancing, for the well-being of the whole planet. Entonces, si nos ven danzando, acuérdense que nosotros nunca estamos danzando para ustedes, aunque parece que estamos danzando para ustedes, pero en realidad nosotros siempre danzamos por la naturaleza, por las buenas vibras de la tierra. Cuando nosotros tocamos la tierra y movemos nuestros pies, siempre son como rezos para que toda la humanidad esté bien, para que toda la naturaleza esté bien y para nosotros, para nuestra comunidad esté bien. Pero son cosas personales que nosotros les demostramos a ustedes. Y ustedes están en la audiencia y nos ven, ¿verdad? Pero siempre les llamamos nosotros ceremonias, ¿no? Nunca les decimos que son shows ni presentaciones, no. Son ceremonias y con las cuales ustedes como audiencia participan y se los agradecemos mucho. Vamos a terminar con la señora Josefina en un momento, y antes de terminar quisiera también enseñarles nuestro tambor. Este es un tambor, a veces tenemos muchos tambores. So we're going to end, but I'd like to show you, before Miss Josefina takes her time, our drum. We come to the parks and sometimes we have 8 drums or 12 or 4 or 1. You never know who's going to come. All the dancers are volunteers, all of the dancers. And whenever we get paid, that money is going directly to the programs that we run as a group. We are a community group. We are self-supported. And whenever we get stipends, we use it particularly for our youth programs. We have 2 youth programs, one for boys, one for girls, and everything in between. We don't have to be binary in that regard. People can join whatever program they want. Tenemos 2 programas, uno para niños y uno para niñas, y los niños que no quieren estar con los niños se pueden ir con las niñas, y las niñas que no quieren estar con las niñas se pueden ir con los niños. No somos binarios, podemos trabajar con todos los jóvenes a su capacidad. Entonces, los tambores a veces vienen 1, a veces vienen 8, y es porque todos son voluntarios y dan su tiempo para la comunidad. Y este tambor tiene nuestro símbolo de nuestro grupo, que es el Ketzal o el pájaro Ketzal con las serpientes de Coatlicue, la Madre Tierra, que ese es nuestro nombre traducido al español, la hermosa Madre Tierra. This has our symbol, this drum, which is the Ketzal bird, which signifies beauty. And then underneath there are 2 serpents, which signify the Mother Earth. So our name translated into English would be the beautiful Mother Earth. And in Spanish, la hermosa Madre Tierra. And in Nahuatl, Kalpulli, Ketzal, Coatlicue. Ketzal means beautiful or pretty, and Coatlicue is the Mother Earth.
Ya terminando mi forma de expresarme, mi cupili. A mí me gusta el teocalli, y esto representa el sol. Siempre me ha llamado mucho la atención el teocalli del sol, y por eso aquí lo llevo encima de mi cabeza, recordándome esa parte de mi espiritualidad del sol, que siempre amanece y lo tenemos aquí. This is the representation of what I feel. This is they call them pyramids, but we call it's teocallis. It's of the sun. This is what I feel, and this is how I represent my regalia. And I love a lot the temple of the sun, called Teocallis. And this is how I put it. O así me lo pongo. Me pongo un listoncito aquí. I use this to hold it because there's been accidents that, sometimes they fall by accident. A veces hemos tenido accidentes que no nos lo amarramos bien, y así nos los amarramos y nos podemos mover. Y no se cae. And then this way it doesn't fall. And the last thing I do is the makeup. Because if I do not have time, I just do it as fast as I can. El último que me pongo siempre es el maquillaje, porque si no tengo tiempo, nada más me pongo lo que en este momento haya yo sentido, y siento mucho marcarme unas estrellitas. Me gustan las estrellitas aquí en la parte de mis ojos para más rápido, y me siento ya como completa. Y mi joyería, en cuanto me pongo mi atuendo, me lo pongo. As soon as I put my atuendo, my regalia, I put my jewelry. I like this kind of jewelry. I wear this one because sometimes I get burned. Me gusta porque pues me quemo a veces. Y aquí tengo conmigo mi sahumador. Es la herramienta que uso para conectarme con la madre naturaleza. This is my sahumador that I use to work with the earth, and this is what it helps me be in connection with Mother Earth. Esto es lo que me ayuda a estar en conexión con la Madre Tierra. Y le ponemos copal. El copal este copal viene del copal del árbol. This comes from a tree. It's an incense, a natural incense. Y miren lo que va a pasar. look what's going to happen. Y esto trae un aroma. This brings a smell, really natural. You can breathe. It will not hurt you. You hold it with care, with love. Usted lo sostiene con amor. Y dejar que fluya la energía. And we let the energy flow. Y así lo tenemos. Usamos un ayacashli para armonizar. We use this to harmonize the energy. And I use this. I like to use it. It flows. A mí me gusta usar esto porque ayuda a llevar la energía más tranquila. Y es sencillo porque yo tengo una niña y me gustaría llevar mi chimali. Tengo un chimali, pero no lo puedo llevar porque tengo la pañalera, tengo otras herramientas, mi saumador, pero también viene a danzar la niña. Ella tiene 2 años y se llama Chalchihuitzin. And I have a child. I also have a big chimali, but I cannot use it because sometimes I have to carry the diaper bag. So for me, it's more convenient to use a really more simple tool o una herramienta más sencilla. And this is what I use. I like to carry a candle. I like to have light. Sometimes we cannot go in, like in the schools. We cannot have the copal really high. So I have a candle to have light. A mí me gusta llevo una veladora porque a veces en las escuelas no nos permiten tener humo. Entonces me gusta tener luz en el altarcito y la prendo. Y ya tenemos esta otra forma de trabajar. Y es hermoso danzar. It's beautiful to dance. This is my work in Kalpulli, Ketzal, Coatlicue. Come to the Monarch Fest. We welcome you to enjoy the drums, enjoy the fire, enjoy friendship with the families and neighbors. Meet new neighbors. Con esto saludamos, le damos la bienvenida a la comunidad, que vengan al Festival de las Monarcas a disfrutar el tambor, a disfrutar el fuego, a conocer nuevos vecinos, a hacer amistad. Bienvenidos al Festival Monarca.
Él es Dios.
Es Dios, comadrita.